So today I'm going to be working on my Grapple. This is my Kubota tractor. It's like a mid-sized backhoe. It has a quick attach just like a bobcat or skid steer. It's got the quick attach. You just pull the levers up. You can take the bucket off and put a bunch of stuff on the front. And today I'm going to have to modify this thing a little bit. It's just a generic Grapple. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what brand it is. I just bought it from a place that sells tractor attachments and different pieces of equipment. And so what happens is when I roll the Grapple over, it falls off. Since it's kind of a universal thing, it's a little sloppy. And so I'm just going to be adding 2 pieces of steel, and hopefully it'll tighten it up. Here's your 2 quick attach levers. It's just like any modern skid steer. Of course, some of the nicer ones have hydraulic releases on them, but you just pull these levers, and when you pull up on this, it just pulls this pin right here, and then that allows you to roll and come out of here. So the problem is, if you can see, there's a huge gap under here, and then like over here on this side we've got a gap. A lot of space under here. Alright, I got a jack under the front of this thing. You'll see it raise up right here. It's got a good 1/2 inch gap in it. So hopefully you could see how high it came up. And the problem is it's just so big this way. There's just so much slop in it. It goes back and forth. So now that it's tight here, it's hard to tell, but that's probably dumb to put my finger in there, but it's probably hard to tell because the lighting in here is terrible. I don't know, you can see that. But it's, I mean, that's every bit of a 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna dig through some scrap stuff that I have, and you know, basically it should be pretty simple. Just gonna stick a piece of steel here and stick one on the other side. Now if you see, there's a piece of square tube there, and I added one on the other side, and I thought that was gonna fix it. I did that a while back because this thing would, like, you walk over here. Well, let's let this thing down. This thing falls off of here pretty easy. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It's been so awesome having this thing. So there's a piece of square tube here. Nice and dark. Let's get that out of there. There's another piece right here that's hard to see. But anyways, so this thing was going up and then falling down in here, and I thought that was the big problem. When you're putting pressure on this thing, pushing up against a log, or if the teeth hit the dirt and it starts to rock or roll or twist or whatever, then this whole piece would move this way up toward the top, and then that thing would go, this plate would go down in here, and then it would fall. It would be so sloppy right here that it would fall off. But I don't know if that was a waste of time or not. I didn't record it. I did that, I don't know, 3 months ago probably. But I haven't had a whole lot of time to work with this. But now, the state that I live in, you can only burn from October through April. I think the 1st of May, and then all through the summer, you're not allowed to burn. But it is the middle of September, and I've got tons of stuff to burn. I've cut down a lot of trees. I've just got piles of stuff everywhere, and I'm getting ready to burn a bunch of stuff. I need to get this thing where it'll stop falling off. So I'm gonna set this down on the ground. I'm gonna disconnect from it and see what we can find to get this thing going. I got this thing disconnected. You can see these two small pieces of square tube I threw in here several months back. This pad right here was rocking and falling down in there, and I thought that was going to help, but we're going to take something, shove it in here, and just run a bead across it. Found this piece of 1/2 inch. I'm just going to cut it in half. We'll get it tacked on, and before we weld it up, we're going to hook the tractor back up to it and make sure that it actually fits. It's not too tight and still not too sloppy, because I do have something thicker in the scrap pile. So I'm going to be back in just a minute. So I've got my steel cut in half. I've got a welding blanket laid across these hoses because this tractor is, it's either an 05 or an 07, but it has enough hydraulic hose leaks without me burning through them with sparks. So we're trying to cut down on that. These things are made of fiberglass, if you didn't know, and I wouldn't advise messing with them without some gloves on, because you'll be miserable the rest of the day. They do a great job keeping stuff from catching on fire. So anyways, I'm going to stick weld this because I don't stick weld as much as I used to, and I just want to stick weld it. I mean, it would be a lot faster to MIG weld it, but I still like stick welding, and I haven't been doing it as much lately, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to tag it up, test it out, and then we'll weld it up. Let's do it. Got these two pieces tacked on. I'm going to try to hook it up now. Hopefully not break the tacks loose, but make sure that it's not too tight, and everything is going to be good to go, and we'll weld it up. Well, and that's why we tested it. It's just a hair too thick, so let's cut it back apart. We do it nice, we do it twice. Got the hoses covered back up. Got some new thinner steel. I want to say this is probably 1/4, 5/16, so the half was too tight. Even though we had a 1/2 inch gap, it was definitely too tight. I just couldn't get in there. I think part of the problem is this angle is different than the angle on the bucket. You know, it's just whatever, but we'll get it. I think this is a lot steeper, so let's put this in there. All right, we got our thinner pieces tacked on here. Let's try to hook this thing back up and see if she fits. Probably need to get that ground out of the way. I think that's going to be perfect. I'm going to get it welded up. So I just wanted to get that slag off of these tacks. It's ready to be welded. Check out what we got here. You know, could have been better, could have been worse. She'll hold. I'm just gonna give her a quick test, go out here and grab a log and give her a little shake, and then I'm gonna be done with this one. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this. So here's the piece that I put in. Same for the other side. I may or may not spray some black paint on here. I don't know. It's definitely much better because when I rolled this thing over and grabbed that log, it would have already have fallen off. This side was worse, way sloppier than this side over here. So you can't always scoop underneath. So a lot of times, because it just pushes the stuff out of the way. I guess just the type of grapple that this is, but so a lot of times I have to go over and grab, and then as I'm closing, I can curl it up. But anyways, I think the only other thing I may do is shrink these bottom holes down some. We'll see. But like I said, this thing was a universal grapple. I love it. It's awesome. Thanks to my wife for buying it for me. Thanks for watching. Whether these are good or bad, I still enjoy videoing, and I really like talking to myself when I don't have to listen to anybody else's opinion. So that's pretty nice. So we're going to see how this works. I got a few more weeks, and then we can start burning here in Georgia. I've got a ton to move, ton to burn, ton of logs to move. All right, see you next time.